What's it feel like, mate?
I don't know. Can't believe I've only been here 2 minutes and we're away.
What, didn't I? He's a nice one, mate.
Get in there. Get in there.
There you go, mate. You're shaking.
Never seen out like it. Right, what great start here at Buzzard Valley on Vineyard Lake. Literally met Ashley at the car park and drove down together. As soon as we got here, just pulled out 2 rods and we set out to floater fishing. Yeah, within around about 15 minutes. Yeah, this one fell to a little mixer, just with a mixer banded on the hook as well. And yeah, Ashley, while I was sorting the camera out and all of that, Ashley's had one as well. So 2 fish within the space of 10 minutes. And what a great start. And we've got 5 days here as well, and Ashley's going to be fishing for 48 hours of them. Get this one back. We are in the middle of the heat wave, so we're going to try and obviously keep them as wet as possible during this time. I think it's predicted like 35 degrees tomorrow, so the fishing will be hard. I'm predicting lots of floater fishing, but happy days. Let's get her back.
This is the second one. Bit of floater rotor. Literally 15 minutes, 5 minutes apart. That's 1 each. Alex has got the rest of the week ahead of him. I'm sure he'll have some more. That was horrendous. About 20, 26, 27 that is. Well, that's the third one between us this afternoon. Third one off the top. Nice upper 20 common. Well happy.
Another one on the floater. I think it's now 5 o'clock. I haven't managed to get any rods out yet. Ashley's gone home. What I did with this, I literally changed the rig over as well because that's been done so many times. So I'll show you what I've changed it to as well. It's ghosty. Get in there. It's actually come 5 minutes after. I was just giving this one a rest in the margin. I thought I might as well have a cast for 5 minutes. So I was getting the camera gear sorted and just left it on the ground with the bail arm, so well, not bail arm, the drag sort of pretty loose, and I just heard it clicking. So yeah, the rig change definitely worked. This one's a mirror. Get in that there. Get in there. Really happy with that. Obviously again off the top. Still on the first day, and yeah, we've got this one and another one to show you as well. Yeah, a little mirror. Absolutely loving the floaters. I did switch over tactics. I've changed hook bait as well because I was losing a couple, so I'll show you that yeah, tomorrow, sort of the approach that we're going for, and yeah, it's obviously working, so let's get it back. So that's fish number 3. Again, on the float, I still haven't got any rods out yet. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get 2 rods out, obviously give the swim a rest, try and feed them a little bit more to obviously raise the confidence a bit. Yeah, and hopefully could have a couple more this evening. So quickly show the other side on this one, so it's quite a nice little fish actually, a little bit darker than the others. Probably the biggest of the ones so far. Obviously Ashley's was the biggest, that's all upper 20, I think 27 last time it came out. But yeah, cracking session for literally been here 3 or 4 hours. Let's get it back. So yeah, fish number 4 and the first one from the bottom, coming to a solid bag, and over the new Jungle Remix. I phoned Ashley because I said I recognised it when I was landing it because he's had it before. And yeah, coincidentally he's just told me that yeah, they actually bred this fish from a small fry. Yeah, from Rob Baston College, is it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's grown nicely, absolute stunner, little zip linear. I'll show the other side because it is really nice. My swim is absolute carnage. The first thing Ashley said was, what are you doing? There's stuff everywhere. There you go. You get some photos, mate?
Yeah.
So a lovely little stocky. Yeah, the future's obviously bright here. This one will be an absolute stunner. Yeah, once it's a few more pound bigger. That's fish number 5, again coming from the same spot. I'll show you all the spots later, and this one's the second one from the bottom. And yeah, 3 surface fishing. So I know I keep saying it, this could be an amazing session. We will see. It's due to be 35 and I think 39 the day after, so that could put obviously an end to the fishing, but we will see. After a quiet night, the sun rose on the second day. A fresh coffee was made, and before I had the chance to drink it, the middle rod was away, resulting in a lovely common. So that's fish number 6. Hopefully there'll be one of the big uns turn up. With the temperatures rising quickly, the fish were soon back on the surface. So a fresh batch of floating pellets were prepared and I set about for a bit of floater fishing. Adding oil to the mix creates a perfect flat spot which reduces drift of those pellets, and straight away the fish responded to it. After only 5 minutes I was hooked into what felt like a better fish. And it turned out to be a stunning scaly mirror and the nicest one of the session so far. Before I photographed the fish, the swim was topped up again to keep them feeding, and only a few minutes later after casting out, I was away again. Really pleased with this. Absolutely stunning little common. Yeah, around about £20 I think. Buzzing. What a session. Now let's just talk about the bait that we're using during the session, and we'll start off with the bait that I'm using and Ashley's using when we are floater fishing. And the actual baits that we're using are 11 and 6mm trout pellet. They're just the standard Scrattings ones. And how we prepare these, so first off we do pour in a load of the G-Cray liquid food in there, not too much because obviously they'll expand if you take too much of that in, but then to help create a little bit of a flat spot on the surface of the water, we are adding in the Salamino oil. Obviously let that soak into the pellets, and when you fire that out it creates a flat spot, and it then means they're not drifting around all along the lake. So that's how we prepare our bait and our floating pellets when we're floater fishing. Feel free to give that a try.
You know you're all hands, like, you can't even see your hands.
Can you not?
No.
Oh.
Hang on.
Can you see them now?
Yeah.
Right. Now the bait that we're using while we are down here at Vineyard Lake is the Jungle Remix, and the way that we're doing that, we're basically using a little bit crushed up, sort of putting that into the edge, and then we are also using some whole boilies as well. I wouldn't recommend sort of piling loads and loads of bait in, because obviously they are in the margins with this warm weather, so just a little bit in the edge, sort of inconspicuous traps are working really good. One final thing with regards to the Jungle Remix and any of our bait. So what I do like to do, if I'm using the frozen version of our bait, basically I'll get that straight out the freezer, and then if you've got say a 5 kilo bag, I will just pour in a whole bottle of the matching liquid food before I go for the session. And obviously during the session and when I'm driving here, all of those liquids are soaking into that bait. Let that soak in and it just pumps out attraction into that lake bed.
Well, miss, I guess I'll be on my way now. You just give me a...
third time. There we go. Get in that net. Yeah.
Oh, is that now full? He's in.
So before we get these fish out, I just want to very quickly talk about fish safety. At the moment, you're looking around about 37 degrees, so the last thing you want to do is be stressing the fish out already during this already stressful period. So first off, I am using a cradle and everything is literally soaked through. So I've got the cradle literally full of water. So yeah, and that's fresh. It hasn't been obviously sat there warming up at all. I've also got a bucket to my left full of water as well. Really, really important, obviously during the hot weather, to keep them wet at all times and obviously not stressing them. So let's get them out. So that's fish number one and the second one of today. Obviously Ashley's had one as well, so going really well. I'm not going to talk too much, get it back, obviously because it's really warm. Photos.
That's the first one for me off the top today. Lovely, lovely little mirror, one of the stockies. So yeah, we'll get him back because it's well hot.
And that's the third fish of the day. Lovely little koi. Yeah, koi common. I do love a koi carp. Really, really chuffed with this one. Yeah, really nice and black. Black nose with a little bit of orange on there. Absolute stunner.
And that's the second one off the top for me. Lovely little dark common. He's yeah, another one coming through the ranks.
First one of the day. Reeled all the rods in. I just couldn't resist. Sort of chucking a float rod out, just for a half an hour.
Come on. Get in there.
So there we go, fruits of this morning's fishing for 10 minutes. Pinged a few photos out. Yeah, and this one right there, probably the biggest of the session I reckon, or thereabouts. She wants to go back, so listen, it is. That's absolutely sound. Well, it's another day at Buzzard Valley. We've got just over 48 hours left. Ashley's coming on today in the afternoon to do around about, to do 48-hour session as well with me, which will be nice. He's setting up in Peg 3. The weather's due to be cooler now, so from now, so it's Wednesday today, so today, Thursday, Friday, it's meant to be a little bit cooler, 24 degrees, so that is happy days. We survived that horrendous heat wave. It was really hard work. Obviously in that, if any of you've seen any of my my vlogs before, a lot of my videos are to do with like huge amounts of B-roll, loads of footage over the top of me speaking, and yeah, just all sorts of sort of nice little shots, and I haven't got any at all. I haven't managed to do any filming. Literally all I've got is a load of fish, a load of GoPro footage, quite a lot of drone footage, but I don't have sort of any rig shots, any sort of nature shots, anything at all. And if I don't get those, the video just doesn't look very good. So if any of you are sort of into videography or doing your own sort of fishing vlogs, yeah, B-roll is massive, and it takes a lot of time. So the plan for the next couple of days is just to try to get all of that footage, try to get obviously the bait that I'm using and all those sorts of things, just so we can piece a film together, just so it's not like fish. So yeah, that's the plan. I have had another one this morning. That was just a little stocky, yeah, only small, so I just kept it in the net, unhooked it and put it back. But the weather's looking cock on now for fishing on the bottom. We'll try and get the floaters out, try and get them feeding again today, but hopefully they will start feeding on the bottom. The rest of the morning was spent floater fishing, but suddenly I began to have a strange feeling that someone was watching me.
Hey boy, look. Look. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is fish number 5. Alex has been done 3 times. He's not very happy. So I'm coming into his swim and second cast now.
Yeah, not just been done 3 times, I've lost the nicest fish in the lake.
Well, yeah. So, and I've come and shown him what time it is. So, yeah, is what it is.
Hendrix
Hendrix is trying to have a little lift there, look.
Not a meal. So in this section we're going to talk to you about the rigs that we're using during this session down at Vineyard Lake. So first off, we'll start with our floater setup. So it's, yeah, I'm using a bolt. Me and Ashley are both using a bolt. So I don't know what size these are, but we can get them out a pretty good distance, around about 13 to 14 wraps. Now the actual hook link material when you are zig fishing or floater fishing, you do want it to be quite thin, and the one that I'm using, all the components by the way from Signet Tackle, and this is 12 zig flow, really nice and thin diameter at 0.29, and it floats really well. The actual hook I'm using is a size 8 short shank hook. Now in terms of how I've actually tied the hook onto the hook link, it is a little bit unique. I've tied it's a knotless knot, but I've gone down 3 times and then I've whipped over the top of the actual hair, and then 3 to 4 times round and then whip back up. I'll try to show that the best I can. And then hook bait wise, I have used a variety. I started off with jungle mix trimmed down. They seem to be missing it slightly with that sort of summer sun, with it being nice and bright, so I went down to a darker hook bait. That's a G Cray hook bait with spice fusion on there, and then also a little bit of halo, the spice halo, and I've just whittled that down just so it looks exactly like a Match the Hatch floating pellet. At the start of the session I was using solid bags. I've had 2 fish I think on solid bags, but I've actually run out of leads. I didn't have many, and at the time I was using a 3-ounce drop-off Signet inline lead. I am using the bag stems from them, and I am using tubing with them, and Ashley showed me a really good tip. So basically what you do, you just put your tungsten tubing on as usual, and then you get an anti-tangle sleeve, chop it down, and then you just push that over the actual, the top of the stem, and it makes it really nice and flush. I've got some coated braid on there, sorry, uncoated braid on there, a little bit of putty in the middle, just obviously pin it down. It also helps to pin it down in the solid bag, and yes, it's a Ronnie rig. So the actual hook that I'm using is a wide gape XS hook, a size 4. Bait wise, this is an essential fruit yellow dumbbell. I have had a variety of different fish on different colours, from yellow to fluoro yellow to pink. And as I said while I was showing you my solid bag rig, I've switched over now to Ronnies on all 3. Now this is my standard Ronnie rig, but I am using fluorocarbon with this one. So this is £30 fluoro link, just with a little bit of putty in the middle, and then a little bit of putty to hold that pop up down. Now the actual hook that I'm using here, I have changed slightly because I'm on a leg clip. So if I'm fishing this over a helicopter rig, I would be using a wide gape. But when I'm using a leg clip, I do like to use sort of a wider gape and a little bit more of an aggressive hook. And I'm currently using the Klinger hooks, and this is the beak point version, so BP version in extra strong. The actual length of the rig, we're looking around, I'm guessing around about 6 inches, but anything between 6 and 8 inches is absolutely fine. Just using one of their hook riggers, just to obviously cover up the hook when you're putting it on that size 11 quick change swivel. And then hook bait wise, on this one at the moment, as you can see, I've got a matching Salamino hook bait, but I've been having runs on all different colours again, so pinks, oranges, yellows, and they've all been great. So those are the rigs that we're using down here at Vineyard Lake. So there's 3 rigs there. So obviously you've got your your Ronnie rig if you're fishing on the deck, or solid bags, and then finally if you're fishing on the top, obviously feel free to use that rig if you're floater fishing. The evening soon approached, and it was spent preparing for the night ahead. My rods were the first to go through the night, with a small common, which was put back straight away. Then at first light I had another run, which resulted in a mid-double mirror. This is the second one of today. I had a little common, which I just slipped back, at that around about 1 o'clock this morning. And this one rattled off at first light. With the cooling weather, the majority of fish have moved to the other end of the lake. And it wasn't long until Ashley hooked into his first fish from the bottom.
So yeah, it's been a bit hard going today. Complete different weather change to what we've had the last few days. Well, from 38 degrees and we're down to like 18 today. So yeah, a bit hard going from here now. But yeah, changed this one up. Put a bit of jungle remix, Ronnie rig with a bit of a pop up on. And yeah, bit of a margin spot, and this has gone off.
And it wasn't long after that when he landed another.
This is number 2 on the baited spot. Put a load of jungle remix out there earlier, and yeah, seems to be paying dividends. I'm sure you'll see where Alex has done a bit of filming, and it's like an absolute jacuzzi out there. So I'm half expecting a couple more, but I've had a couple off it, so I'm happy with that.
Right, so that's looking like it's the end of the first session for me on this lake. So the last 48 hours has been a little frustrating for me. As I said previously, I lost the nicest fish in the lake. Lost obviously 3 on the top. Yeah, Ashley actually lost one on the top yesterday as well, and it looks like they have started going really finicky. It's not surprising considering, you know, how many we've hammered off the top and how many we've sort of pulled out of, you know, ones that we just haven't managed to sort of hook firmly. So yeah, so I've had 4 in the last 48 hours. All 4 have sort of come off the deck over the jungle remix, but it does seem that they were down here in 4 and 5 in numbers at the start of the week. Obviously with it, this is the deeper end of the lake, and it was obviously slightly cooler this end of the lake. I think in the shallows it's still sort of 6-7 foot over there in sort of 1, 2 and 3, but it was just far too hot for them up there in that sort of 38-degree heat. So they've moved over, still on the surface obviously, and I was catching on the top down here because it was probably a little bit cooler for them. Yeah, the next time you will see me is in around about 8 days time. So in 8 days time I'm down here again. This time though I've got it as a whole lake exclusive, so, and that is with me and my dad. So yeah, me and my dad are going to be down here. We've got one's just shown just under my rod tips. Yeah, so we've got 4 nights. We're doing Sunday to Thursday on here. We're just going to sort of spread the rods out, probably do a little bit of stalking and just, yeah, see what we can do. And hopefully I will have one of the bigger fish. There's in particular, there's a couple of mirrors in here that I would love to catch. Yeah, there's a couple of commons, like bigger commons. There's a ghosty mirror which I'd love to catch, and obviously the big red, which is looking unlikely. The big red sort of koi is looking unlikely because obviously I lost that one on the top, which is a gutter. Yeah, Ashley's going to come down hopefully for one night as well. He's going to do the Wednesday night, the final night. Yeah, so we'll see. Sort of, it'll be interesting to see sort of the change in the weather conditions, how the fish react. Obviously, are we going to be floater fishing? Yeah, so got a lot of preparation to do. So I'm going to pack away now. Yeah, and you'll see me arriving at the lake next.
Alex has come down for 4 days with his dad. I've met him at the lake today. The sun's out, lovely afternoon, and we decided to do a bit of floater fishing. And this fish is called Casper. I've been after this for many years, and literally under our feet, absolutely picking mixers off. And yeah, G cray pop up, whittled down to look like a dog biscuit. Literally just dropped it by its head and bam, I was away. Absolutely flabbergasted with this one, yeah. Right, lovely fish.
Get in there. Oh. Right, so last week obviously we were float fishing mostly, and yeah, the sun's come up, and this week we're doing the same. So this is my first fish. Obviously Ashley's had an amazing one as well. What a great start. We've basically got 3 nights left, so hopefully there will be a few more. But yeah, what a lovely start. Let's slip her back. Common that. Yes. Well, what a great start. So that's the second one for me, and probably the biggest one over the few days that I've done on this lake. Yeah, £23. I do recognise this fish. It's a fish that Ashley's had in the past. Really happy with it. Yeah, absolutely lovely, lovely comment. Behind me. Yeah, it's like a little bay, little point. I'm just talking quite because I'm right underneath the trees. You're talking about 2 foot from the bank. So what I'm going to go in with is a little solid bag, yeah, tubing, a little bit of putty put up the main line. Got 13-foot rod, so obviously it's a little bit treacherous. So just to get it through the bushes and stuff, I just split it in half. So yeah, let's get it out now. Make sure all that line's pinned to the bottom as well. So the putty in the tubing will do that. I'm just going to fish a really slack line as well. Loose clutch. Obviously if I get fish on this, I'm just going to have to get wet straight in the water. Got a net just to the right hand side of me as well, so it's ready to grab sort of straight away. It's now about 6 o'clock in the evening, just putting the rods out. This one's come to a solid bag, sort of right in the edge that you saw me sort of stalking. Not they've been out there an hour. Come on. Get in. So yeah, this one, what a fight. This is fish number 3 of the day. As you saw me place that solid bag, literally just behind me actually, just on the sort of point it's called. Yeah, around about sort of 6 inches from the bank. Yeah, really happy with this one. Little double scales on the back of it. Good morning. So yeah, it's been really sort of quiet throughout the night here. It all seems to be day bites at the moment, and yeah, mostly fishing on the top or sort of solid bags with a little bit of boilie around the edge. Obviously it's fantastic, you know, fishing with my dad. We don't get to get out much, you know, a couple of times a year or once a year at the most at the moment. Also amazing to see obviously Ashley catch the big ghosty mirror from there. You know, he's been after that fish for years. He's fished this lake for obviously years and years and years. So for him to catch that, it's well deserved. Absolutely buzzing for him. Yeah, and a real stunner as well. Also, other news. So literally just had an email yesterday. So myself and Ashley, we are both now joining the Signet team. So yeah, you're going to be seeing obviously a lot more products from them. Obviously, I've been using them for since the release back in April. The quality of them is absolutely fantastic. So really happy to be on board, and there's some really exciting things coming from them in the future, and we've got some really cool plans as well for the future as well. So yeah, obviously watch this space with that. So I'm going to get the rods out again in a couple of hours, and hopefully we'll have a couple more to show you. Wow, what a lovely little comment. Yeah, a little angry one as well. Yeah, and I was floater fishing just in the right spot. So the wind picked up, but the sun also came out. So I bobbed to the back of the wind, just to a little corner where the lily pads are. Yeah, pinged a few floaters out, and there was a load feeding some real big ones as well. And yeah, this one took the hook bait. Really pleased. I think this is fish number 4 or 5. Well, me and my dad were literally just watching an absolutely stunning sunset. We were just about to have a cup of tea before bed, and yeah, this one rattled off. The hook hold on this was incredible. I could hardly even get my sort of finger in to get it out. It's gone really back. Yeah, a little bit of a less putty, slightly sort of lighter. Buoyancy on the pop-up, yeah, and it was absolutely nailed. This one as well, and all of the other ones that have come from the bottom have come over all 3 of our new baits. So the Salamino Mark II, which doesn't have a name yet, the new fish meal, which doesn't have a name yet, and the jungle remix. So yeah, it's going well. Well, it's another morning on Buzzard Valley, and yeah, what a stunning sunset that was. We've been blessed with 2. Yeah, this session, I don't know if I'm looking in the shadow, I'm looking a bit like Marlon Brando, I think, in Apocalypse Now, with that sort of light in the background. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, so this is our last day today. We pack up tomorrow. I need to try and get my dad another one, or my dad needs to get another one, and then yeah, yeah, that's 2. I think there will be opportunities for floater fishing again today. The sun is, yeah, the sun's going to be up, but there's going to be a little bit of cloud sort of interspersed. Yeah, the wind's picked up, so we'll have to obviously fish on the back of the wind. Yeah, and really good to see that I've sort of caught over all 3 of the new baits now consistently. So obviously we're catching on the Jungle Remix last time we were down here. Yeah, now catching on the new Salamino, or the Salamino Mod 2, whatever name that's going to be. And yeah, the new G-Cray, or the new fish meal as well, and the catches from the team members on the new Salamino, and it's literally only sort of been out to team members for testing for yeah, 3 or 4 days, and the catches have been incredible. I just turned on my phone this morning, and yeah, Eddie Wells, one of our team members, he's had a lovely common. There's been some mega fish PB smashed on the Jungle Remix as well, so that's great. Yeah, so what's the plan for my fishing over the next few weeks? So basically, as soon as I finish this session, I've got to get home, hopefully edit this within, I've got like 4 days to edit it. I've done the first piece and it's looking great. I'm really pleased with it. Just got to edit this session, and then yeah, I go on holiday. So I'm abroad for a week, and then as soon as I get back, yeah, me and Paul are back together again. It feels like ages since I've fished with Paul. So me and Paul are going back to Abbey. We're fishing wild boar, which is like the family lake. It was the only lake that was available at the time. But yeah, we fished it once before. We fished it in October, just before lockdown, and yeah, really looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll have yeah, a load of fish to show you. So yeah, that's basically the plan. So I think I'm going to now go and ping some, have a brew, chill out for a bit with my dad, yeah, and get some floater fishing done. Big red ones over in the distance there as well. Oh, this is nervous times. Just need it to come in. Might just cast long over it to it. Oh, I've gone. There it is. Hopefully it'll turn. I lost it on top last week. Come on. Just drifting. Just ping a few more floaters out. I've got one off the top again. Doesn't look a bad fish actually. It was like 2 foot from the bank. Such good fun just watching him feed. Definitely feels a bigger fish, this one. Without a doubt. There's no head shaking or anything like that. Just sort of solid, yeah, more sort of boisterous ones. It's pouring down and they're still taking on the top. Madness, really. Yeah, this is definitely a bigger fish. Try and play it to the left a bit. Keep her out of them. Right. Try not to water in the middle now. This could be my chance for one of the bigger ones, I think. This could be the chance for one of the bigger ones. Yeah, definitely a bigger fish. Oh, it's a big common. It's a big common. Come on. the net. Get in there. Oh, well, yeah, it took around about 10 nights. Yeah, I've caught the biggest common in the lake. Absolutely buzzing. Yeah, I'm around about 20 fish in, maybe 25. What a fish. Absolutely over the moon. We haven't weighed her yet, but I reckon around about 35, something like that. Oh, coming to a G Cray floater and a tiny little rig change as well, which if we have time I'll show you. Buzzing. So this is the actual rig change that I made when fishing on the surface. Yeah, and obviously it caught me that 33-pound common. So I'm definitely going to be using this one a little bit more. The reason why I did this, I just wanted the actual the boilie to be really close to the shank of the hook, and I didn't fancy either sort of nicking it on or gluing it on. So all I've done is just a simple knotless knot with the Signet Zig line. This is the 15-pound one. And then yeah, it's just a ring. So this is a small rig ring, and then a size 6 short shank hook, and then just a tiny little bead there to trap it in place. I have got the bead sort of really tight. I've only sort of leaving a couple of mil between the actual end of the knotless knot and the bead, and the reason why I do that is just so that it does sit exactly as I'm showing you now. So it sort of sits nice and tight to that hook, so it sort of covers it and makes it a little more inconspicuous. Go on, Dad. Oh, that's a beautiful fish, that. Absolutely beautiful fish. No way. No way. No way. It's the big ghosty mirror. It's the big ghosty mirror. No way. Oh, don't lose it. No way. Can't believe that. Oh, don't do this. Don't do this. She's nearly done. Come on. It's only up on the side. Get that net. Get in! Well, would you believe it? We actually had this one about 3 days ago. Yeah, and obviously I just had this one. He had it off the top on a G-Crow popper. I've got this one on the bottom. Yeah, overall 3 of the new baits. Oh, literally within the lake now, there's still one more that I would absolutely love, which is the big koi. We had this one, and obviously the big common was on my list. Absolutely buzzing. Oh yes, what a session. After all those times sort of trying to catch a big one, yeah, finally got 2 in a row. Happy days.
The big ghosty marked an end to an incredible few days spent at Buzzard Valley. Myself, my dad and Ashley spent our final evening reminiscing about our captures and the time spent on the lake. Two small stockies through the night were the final fish of the session for me, and it was the time to make the journey home.